Alrighty guys, I'm here in my kitchen today. It's just me and the baby, who I'm sure you're going to hear throughout the video. She's playing on the floor, making lots of noise like she always does. And then my dog Harley, she's chilling on her Kato board, just on an extended sit, working on some patience, always training, even if it's simple things like this, just making her sit in one place for a long period of time. So today I am going to be doing a venison backstrap recipe. This piece of backstrap came off a doe that I shot with my rifle during the Wisconsin gun season this year. If you want to see the story on how I got this doe and two others, as well as this nice buck that my dad shot during that time period, click the link to my video below. I have the video on that hunt there, and then I'm going to be cooking these deer all winter long. So I just got a small piece of backstrap here today, and I'm going to do a super simple recipe that I want to share with you guys. Alright, so the first thing I need to do is whenever I cut my backstrap up and freeze it, I always leave the silver skin on it because it just helps protect it during the freezing process. This piece of backstrap is from up towards the neck. There's my baby letting you know she's there. So this piece is from up towards the neck, so it's a little bit smaller chunk of the backstrap. There's hardly any silver skin on it at all, but we still want to clean it up. I'm going to be using these de facto knives. I talked a little bit about them in the last video. These things are just incredible. They're a knife company made by sportsmen for sportsmen. They're just, you know, guys like us that love to hunt, fish, and then they like to cook. And they wanted high quality cookware for the people that want to spend time in the kitchen. So they're super reasonably priced, but they're just awesome knives. I've been using them a lot and I really enjoy them. So you gotta go check those out. If you're someone that likes to cook a lot and you need a new knife set, I would definitely recommend giving these a try. So I'm gonna get going on just kind of cleaning up this piece of backstrap here. So like I said, this piece isn't bad at all. Just gonna come under this piece of silver skin right here. The super sharp knife like this, you can kind of just fillet it off. Boom. So there we got a nice clean piece of backstrap. Alrighty, so now I got this piece of backstrap cleaned up. Now all I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of olive oil and just get a little bit of that on there on both sides. Alright, so I got my olive oil on there. Now I'm going to salt it. And a little bit of pepper. Thing on the other side. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this just chill here for a little bit. You always want to bring your meat to room temperature before you cook it. It's been out for a little bit, but I'm just going to kind of let it sit there, let those seasonings just kind of work their way into the meat and chill for a little bit. So I'm probably going to let this sit for an hour. It's kind of up to you. You don't have to do this. I just think it's something that really enhances the flavor and helps kind of tenderize the meat a little bit. This is backstrap, so this is just like the Cadillac piece of meat on a deer. It doesn't get any better. It's by far my favorite piece of meat. So I'm going to let this chill for a little bit, and then in about an hour I'm going to get the grill hot, throw this thing on the grill. Alrighty, it's December in Wisconsin and we're still grilling. Got my grill turned on. I'm going to get this thing nice and warm. I need a super hot grill for this. So I'm going to let this warm up for a bit, and then we'll throw our venison on there. Alrighty, I got my grill nice and hot now, so I'm going to throw my backstrap on. This is a really small piece of backstrap, so with venison, a lot of people think it tastes gamey, or some people think it's not that good. That's usually due to overcooking or poor preparation with the meat. It is just delicious food, and you gotta cook it medium rare. So with this small of a piece, I'm literally probably going to do maybe a minute to a minute and a half aside. Done about a minute and a half, going to give it a flip. Alright, this is looking pretty good. Pull it off, head inside. Alright, so this is another super important part of the process that a lot of people skip. They pull their meat off the grill, they're excited to eat it, and they just dig into it right away. It's very important to let your meat rest. It allows it to keep cooking internally, and if you cut it open while it's still piping hot, all of your juices and goodness is going to fall right out of the center, and you don't want that. You want those to stay in there, so when you let it rest, it'll just really improve the taste of your meat. So I'm letting this rest for about 4 or 5 minutes now, because it was only on the grill for 4 or 5 minutes. And then I'm going to dig in. So I upgraded another de facto knife here. Check this out. Just cuts through it like butter. Perfect. Honestly, a little bit more cooked than I would like, but it's still nice and pink in the center. And that is going to make a great meal. Oh my goodness, that is perfect. That is seriously one of the best pieces of backstrap I've ever had. It is just so tender. Man, it's like butter in your mouth. Oh, that is really good. I can't believe that. I like grilling backstraps sometimes. One of the biggest things that I found is I save my backstraps in those little hunks like that, 6 to 8 inch hunks, rather than slicing them up thinly or butterflying them. And I really like cooking them this way. I much prefer it this way. Man, that is really good. Just super simple. A little bit of olive oil, salt, and pepper. Let the backstrap be the rock star, and that is just perfect. So, all right, guys, thank you for watching this video. I was very fortunate this year. I was able to kill 4 deer. I got 1 with my bow and 3 with a gun, so I have tons of venison for the year. And I'll be putting out a lot more cooking videos. That's one of my favorite parts about living this outdoor lifestyle, is the food that comes from it. So I'm going to be putting up some of my favorite recipes, and hang out on the channel for a while. There's tons of videos. I got, bow hunting videos, deer hunting videos, hog hunting videos, fishing videos, cooking videos, all of that. So stick around, check out some of the other videos, and make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, so that you can be alerted when I put some new videos out. I really appreciate you watching, and we'll see you in the next video.